What is the connection between the House of Mary, between the Assumption and the room of the Last Supper, the room of Pentecost? In both places, Mary is the center of it. Then we are living now the place that Mary fell asleep, the Dormition church, / Mary died. Mary, according to the Catholic, was sinless. Then in that case, she couldn't die. She fell asleep, just like Jesus / died. And then they bury her at the Kidron Valley, but she assumption into heaven, and this is very close to the Assumption Day, August 15. And we are leaving the church to show you the room of the Last Supper, which is not less than the room of the Pentecost. For me, that room is such an important place. I think if you watch my videos, and if not, please subscribe to my channel. I have almost 21,000 videos. You will understand that that room is not less the most important important Christian place for me. Why? Because I believe that the room of this Last Supper, the Cenaculum, is the first church ever, and center of Christianity. Then in that case, I'm celebrating that day with you, and together with Ali and Stockton, that just find Christianity, and Mary helped Ali to help her son. Then in that case, for me, it's such a beautiful place. Look how amazing is their church, and you will see it even from a better angle soon. Their church was built in 1900, but it was built on top of an ancient church from the 4th century, and the 4th century church was built on top of the House of Mary, but hola. Then all right. Then if what's your name? Amar. What actually Amar said? Where are the tourists? Because he's relying on it. He's selling them beautiful rosaries.
Yes.
But as you can see, lots of rosaries, no tourists.
Come again.
Yeah. Bye. Then and this is really the problem. Thanks to you, I'm surviving, because it's already 10th month after after the beginning of the war, and it's not the end of it. I'm not working. As you can understand, not a lot of tourists. And why thank to you? Because Ali, for example, decided to, in a way she is helping me. She bought that cross for me. I'm taking a video of one of the places in Jerusalem that she asked me. I'm uploading it to YouTube, and that's why you can actually watch it. And I'm sending it to her and to her amazing 17 years old son that found Jesus. Then in that case, this is one of the options to help me. Second one is very easy. Subscribe to my channel and send the link of that video or my channel to all of your friends and ask them to be part of my family, because you're keeping me alive. Then, why I'm going away from the room of the Last Supper? Because I want you to see how beautiful is the structure. I can see. The weather is great. It's hot, but not as humid as in Tel Aviv, and I live in Tel Aviv. But we're heading to the room. Let's hope that the room will be open. Now let's talk about what's happened here. Not because it's upstairs. It's going to be a little bit problematic. The echo is not so good. What we know is that when Jesus prepared his Last Supper, which is for the Catholic and the Greek Orthodox. Sorry, for the Catholic it was the Passover meal, and I believe that what he meant is the Passover meal and not the day before, but again, not so important. Then he asked the disciples to leave Mount of Olives, the place that he had been there, and they had to look for someone who will carry water, and this is the area of it, and he will show them the room. Now you must understand, to prepare the Passover meal, and that's why I believe that it was a Passover meal, you must do that inside the walls of the city. Why? Because this is by law. Think about you. You do have an apartment or an hotel in that beautiful city, and now millions of tourists are coming, Jewish tourists, because this is one of the 3 festivals that every Jew must be in the city. The second one is Pentecost. Then you can understand how crowded it is. Then you can understand what will happen to the hotel prices. My friends, God told the Jews who lived here, you are lucky, but you must give a room for free to a family that you don't know. Are you going to open your door for a stranger? I'm not sure, but you will open the door. You will give them the roof above your house. Then this is one of the reasons that it's called the house of the upper room. Now what I want you to see is that you can see a face of a Jewish rabbi, and the inscription beneath it is long live the King, the Messiah. And some of you will argue, what? The Messiah is only Jesus. You must understand that Judaism is not Christianity, and don't try to convert Jews into Christianity, and don't try to convert Muslims into Christianity, and don't try to convert to Islam by Muslims. Let people believe in God in their way. Then, according to the Jews, the Messiah is not Jesus. Then, and please accept it. Then, in that case, when it came to here, so many things happen. The first one is by the name of the room, the Last Supper. It's the Last Supper. But in the Last Supper, he said, drink that wine, eat that bread. This is my body, this is my blood. This is the Eucharist. And in a way, in every church, every day, you are mentioning it. But where was the first church that it's happened? Right here. Then for me, the room of the Last Supper is much more than the room of the Last Supper. It's supposed to be called the room of the first church ever. And who was the priest? Jesus himself. Then let's climb up. I'm not sure that the room is open, because it's a wartime. And the Iranian decided to bomb Israel any moment. It might happen now, it might happen tomorrow, it might not happen. But I decided not to be afraid of, okay, it's closed now, but it might be open let me see if it's open. No, it's not. Let me see if it's open the other door is open, but let's continue the story. In that room, so many other things happen. Washing the feet of the disciples, it's happened here. And what else? After the crucifixion, they had to find someone else instead of and look at that woman. And you can ask her, is that a nun? Is that a Muslim woman or a Jewish woman? Guys, that was a Jewish woman. Lately, some of the Jewish women are becoming more and more radical. It's their decision, it's not a man's decision. This is the entrance to King David's tomb, and remember it, because the room of the Last Supper is above it. Then let's enter through there. Then in that case, another important thing happened. After the resurrection, he came to the room. And who didn't believe him or doubted him? Thomas. Yes, doubting Thomas. But the second most important thing after the first church issue is Pentecost. Pentecost is one of the Jewish holidays that every Jew had to be in it. It's like a festival, 3 festivals that God told us to visit Jerusalem and to pray in the Jewish temple. Wow, it's so dark. Then in that case, oops, let me talk. Let me talk outside. Didn't want to disturb that woman that really needs something. And thanks God, Ali, you found it. Thanks God, Stockton, you found it too. Then, by the way, you can see a minaret of a mosque. Then let us end the story here, before we will enter to the room. Then at 50 days after Passover, it's Shavuot, which is 50 days after Easter. Then in that case, the disciples were here, around 120 people. A lot of them, together with Mary, you're here. And by the way, you can see a cat food here, because there's a special cat that belongs to that room. That room belongs to that cat. We might see it, we might not. Then, in that matter, holy fire went down, and people started to talk in different languages. And they looked at each other and said, "Why, what's happening here? Are they drunk?" Of course they weren't drunk. They got a mission. Spread Christianity all over to the end of the world. Then in that case, that room is so important. I don't know, Ali, if you actually thought about it, because your son got the Pentecost message right now. And this is so important. And I hope that you can understand your mother. I am so proud of you, Ali, and I am so proud of you, Stockton. And spread love. This is such an important thing. Then let's now enter to the room. Because I think she is actually finished her prayer. Although, as you can see, they actually said there is absolutely no singing nor organized prayer here. Remember, that room belongs to Israel, not to the Christians, not to the Muslims. And why am I saying Muslims, and why I said a minaret? Mainly because at the 16th century, that place was held by the Christians. The lower part, the tomb of King David, was a Jewish place. And The Jews wanted the building for themselves, the Christians wanted the building for themselves. Then they went to the court of the Ottomans, and the Ottomans kicked the Jews and the Christians out of their rooms and said, King David is our prophet, go away, Jews. And Jesus is our prophet as well, go away, dear Christians. And they turned it into a mosque until 1948. Today, Christians can come to here, and 7 times a year they have rights here to pray, but the rest is not. And this is a little bit strange for me, because the law in Israel say that if it's a Christian place, it must be held by the Christian. If it's a Muslim place, it might be held by the Muslims, and got the message. Before we'll talk about that amazing tree, which is a present from the Pope at 2000, I want you to see the inscriptions here of the Muslims. Let's say we took that room for the pagans / Christians, because we believe in the Trinity, and we turned it into a holy site. In the room, it's the Holy Spirit room. In Pentecost, it actually started there, and then the Holy Spirit goes out and blessing everyone here. I do have so many videos about Catholic and Greek Orthodox and Armenian at their church, and this is such an important place to visit at those at Pentecost. And it's very easy to watch. Just write Pentecost or Easter, and my name is Zahi Shaked on YouTube or Google, and you will find those, I think, great videos. Sorry, the word great doesn't sound good. I'm studying a lot before I'm taking a video, although I know it by heart. Then another thing that there is, you can find there, is a replica of the tomb of King David, because the Muslims didn't allow Christians and Jews to visit the tomb, which is down there. You saw the entrance to it. Today, the tomb of King David belongs to the Jews, and everyone, Muslims, Christians, and Jews, can go there and pray. You don't have to pay a penny for that. If you're talking about the mosque, you can see here the windows of the mosque. I don't know if that's for the 16th century, but it's quite old. That structure is not less than a mihrab. A mihrab is a place that every Muslims know or look for when he enters a mosque, because it's actually facing to Mecca, and Mecca is right there, and then they're praying through Mecca. One of the questions that I've always been asked, is that the correct room? First of all, I told you that it's the upper room, and usually it's the roof. Then it doesn't look like a roof. But the building being destroyed at 70 AD, what you can see here is a room from 12th and 15th century. That room was built probably by the Crusaders, and you can actually see few things that belongs to the Crusaders. First of all, and I think the most beautiful one is the, and this is you. You can see Abbey and Stockton. Abbey couldn't feed her own chicks. Then she decided to feed her own chicks by her own flesh. Ellie, you're just a great mother. See there, I can hear the bells. See, I'm right. And you're feeding your faith from your mother, but this is actually the story of Jesus. Eat that bread. You can find here some more evidence from the Crusader. You can see here graffitis of it. You can see even here a graffiti of boat and Allah, which is from the Muslim time. But there are more graffitis here than, it's so strange for me to be here alone. Usually I cannot even talk here, not only because of the echo, because there are too many people here. Then we are going back to that to that tree, and don't leave me that way, because I want to convince you that that room was built originally at the 1st century. Then don't leave me, please. By the way, I hope that you already subscribed to my channel, and another graffiti from the Crusader time. And look at that beautiful tree. It's a present from the Pope that visited that room. And at the 2000, and I must say that the first place that the Pope is starting his mission in Israel, the Popes, not only he, is that room. Because remember, first church ever, center of Christianity, ta-da-la. But he gave us something from the letter of Paul, and the idea was that the Christians started to hate the Jews. That's what St. Paul, that used to be a Jew, converted into the new Judaism, Christianity, heard from them. And he said, this is Judaism. Look at that trunk. You are the new branches. If you will cut the trunk, you will die as well. Your source is from Judaism. Jesus, the Holy Family, the disciples were Jews. But what's beautiful to see is not only the new branches. 3 trunks goes out from the big trunk: Christianity, Judaism, and Islam, Abrahamic faith. I hope that we will understand that to deal with each other is not by hate, it's by peace. Now, to show you that the Jews were, the fanatic Jews here, I'm talking about minority, then please don't say, oh, what horrible Jews. But I'm showing you everything here. Look at that window. A crazy Jew that now is in prison destroy that amazing mosque window. And some of the Christians now will tell me, yeah, it's not a Muslim site. Still, to destroy history, for me, it's a shame. And you can see that he actually deal with that window as well. Accept instead of hate. It's going to be easier to everyone than accept. Don't hate. Let me take you down to the area of King David. Some of them, those people that heard that room are there, and I'm walking with a cross there to show that I don't mind. But I want to show you stones that might be from the 1st century or even from the temple after the destruction. It shows us that the first Jews after 70 AD came to here to rebuild the city, and one of the most important rooms is there. Is it because of King David's tomb? I'm not sure, because the tradition of the tomb of King David started 10 centuries later. Look at the stones right there. I mean, all right, let's start with that. If you want to build something, easier to build it with small stones, limestones. But if you want to do something, to build something that it's more important, look at those stones. Big stones, huge stones, maybe from the 1st century. Then in that case, if that's the answer to the tomb of King David, and I do have a lot of videos about it, I believe that the first Jews that became to be later on Christians build the room. Then is it true or not? God, I don't know. But I believe that it is. Guys, if you want to have your own cross, you know exactly how, and if not, please send me a message. And let's say thank you to Ellie, and let's pray to Mary, in that matter, Ellie, that your son will grow and become happy man with a great faith, and he will accept everyone just like it should be. Thank you very much. Bye bye.